So this next video, I don't know if we're gonna watch the whole thing. I always say that. This is called Jersey Devil Documentary 2020. New evidence. These are just like guys, just cryptozoologists or enthusiasts or whatever, cryptozoology enthusiasts, out looking for the Jersey Devil. They put out this documentary, and then which is about 40 minutes long. Then I saw there's another documentary that's about 90 minutes long. That's a dissection of what happens in this documentary. So there's serious business, man. You ever been out to the pines, boy? You ever see that Jersey Devil? Ooh, Lord, you know he out there.
No matter where you grew up, everyone has a legend. Where I'm
Oh, boy. Jersey girl confirmed. She's about to get spooky.
from, it just happens to be the scariest of them all. Raised in South Jersey, every kid knew the story of the Jersey Devil. Passed down from generation to generation around campfires and small gatherings, for hundreds of years people have told the tale of Mother Leeds and her 13th child. And quite frankly, it has scared the shit out of us. It's said that one stormy night in 1735, Mother Leeds, pregnant with her 13th child, was fed up with childbirth. Story has it that as this baby was being born, Mother Leeds cursed it, begging for the devil himself. What was born that
Well, that's not very nice.
night, hooves, horns, wings, and all, is what we know now to be the Jersey Devil. As I grew older, I became more intrigued by the stories and the encounters surrounding the Jersey Devil. And so, I decided to do some investigating of my own. In this video, I will take you along with me on a journey into the unknown.
Yeah, the unknown.
Hi, I'm Sammy.
How you doing, Sammy? I'm Mike. Nice to meet you.
you.
Nice to meet you.
Stefan,
Oh, look, they got the black Hebrew Israelites to come along. Watch out, guys. They're going to be like, you know the Jersey Devil be black, right? You know he be black. Come on, man.
nice to meet
Fun.
you.
I brought you guys these posters. I mean, you guys seem to have a cooler one.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
This is-
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sure
Awesome.
that's not what he looked like to you guys, though, right?
No, we got something totally
We
different.
got something
Totally
totally different,
different.
and we got something for you guys especially. He bought something.
Absolutely.
What are they doing? They're just, I guess they have to honor each other. They're from different boroughs, different regions. They have to honor each other. They have to bring gifts. You know, you're about to enter somebody's kingdom, basically. You better be bringing fucking gifts. Trummick says, I'm surprised with a voice like this she isn't applying a drag queen looking makeup and talking about serial killers and somehow has 20 million subscribers. Oh, she'll get there. You gotta believe. You gotta believe. Small town girl, gotta make it good. Gotta make good.
I got first off, can you hold this for me, Pop?
Yep.
Thank you. Man, best friend, man. We got a wanted poster here. Now we're gonna bust out the picture. Go ahead,
This is
Joe.
the actual picture, the photo that we.
See, he's fucking it up. This guy had timing down. He's like, look, we got this wanted poster. We're going to let the Jersey Devil know. We're out there. We're on the hunt. The black Hebrew Israelites are hip to his antics. He wanted him, bam, show the photo, show the picture, bam. And now this guy wants to stop and talk. Like he's some kind of celebrity.
took, which we're going to go out on location today
Okay.
and see. This is the actual picture. Take a look at that.
It's very similar. Do a
Okay.
side by
Yes,
side.
look
Look
at
at that.
Wow.
Look at that.
Yeah, I can't see anything because of the glare, but I totally believe you.
Yeah, it's crazy,
We
right?
can also send that to you guys or via
Yeah.
Facebook.
Maybe they just played a mean trick on her, you know? They knew there'd be like kind of the glare and the reflection. And like they were trying to say that she herself looks like the Jersey Devil. Hagbert says to Trembling, if she did, my wife would watch the fuck out of it. Everybody's wife would. My wife has recently gotten into interrogation videos. Like, I was watching those a couple years ago. I was like, honey, you're behind the times. You're behind the times. Jim Can't Swim doesn't really do anything anymore, but there's tons of imitators, so that's the new hotness. But I'm just, honestly, I'm just thankful that I don't have to hear Judge Judith Shineland's voice anymore. And I love me some Judge Judy, but in moderation. In moderation. I can only take so much. Trellick says, hat guy with the South Jersey, Philadelphia accent I mentioned earlier. Oh, there you go.
Facebook or whatever, or a text message, and that way y'all can upload it to your computers and do more analysis on it. Yep.
All right, cool.
And this is for you guys. This is for you to keep.
Yeah, that's
Thank
your
you.
copy. Totally.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, and it
Absolutely.
comes
Oh,
in
this is cool.
That's
is
awesome.
nice.
Thank
Yeah, it comes in a laminate and everything. I mean, these guys spared no expense. Spared no expense. Trellick says, I don't get why girls adore true crime so much, but they all do. I think it's because it's the most dramatic thing. I mean, this is something that's I think women have always been attuned to. I mean, think about Lifetime movies. Think about the Lifetime network in general. I mean, my mom used to watch a ton of Lifetime. That's why I had such a fascination with Unsolved Mysteries. We were watching it as it would be on TV, the new episodes on Friday nights. But Lifetime got the license for Unsolved Mysteries, and they would just play reruns all the time. All the time. We watch the shit out of those things, man. It's like a safe way to experience the darkest possible permutations of human beings. You get to watch it as entertainment. It's kind of morose. It's a little gross in a certain way when you start thinking about it. Like people's lives, people being murdered or tortured or kidnapped or whatever. It just becomes what you watch while you're eating bonbons or whatever. While you're stuffing your face with Doritos. But holy shit, yeah, he did. He killed his whole family. Man, what did he do? He stuck him in some barrels. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. It's totally appreciated. Thank you so much, man. And it's a
up,
pleasure.
guys? Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you,
Nice
man.
to meet you,
Totally.
man.
After talking in the parking lot for a few minutes, Stefan and Michael wanted to take us to the exact spot where the sightings happened and tell us the entire story. So off we went.
I just hope for those guys' sakes that they don't run into any pirates. They're like, drone shot? What are you talking about? Yeah, we're going to get this drone shot. You guys walking across the highway here.
What are you saying now?
This is creepy.
This is wrong. Right.
I feel like I've been on this road before.
Suddenly she's starting to have concerns. She's like, we don't really know these guys, and we're just going to be walking out into the fucking Pine Barrens with them. Maybe this is because, you could say, are they talking about the essence of the Barrens? They talking about the Jersey Devil? No. They're talking about their concerns with these guys. And those guys are really excited to give us those pictures. I don't know what's going on. It's like they really wanted us to go out there. They were kind of insistent, weren't they? Trellick says, I love hearing about a man making a necklace of vaginas as they eat a nice manicotti on the couch. It's true. It's true.
Look, they're reminiscing.
Yeah, they're trying to get their story straight, Cracker. Okay? They're trying to make sure they're on the same page. Better watch out. Better watch out, motherfucker.
We're here.
Right here. Right.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
All right,
So-
what's up?
We're here with Stefan and Mike, who brought us out here to tell us their story of their encounters with what we know as the Jersey Devil.
Okay, it was June 3rd, 2017, about 2:30 in the afternoon. It was me, myself.
I wonder, did they just like meet these guys on a message board or something? Is there like I'm sure there's got to be like a Jersey Devil Reddit. Yo, are you local? Well, as a matter of fact, we is.
My son Stefan and my other son Jaden in this actual area where we first saw the sighting of the Jersey Devil, and we came out because of the documentary that's on YouTube now called Mother Lee's 13th Child. So we want to come down to the area and just get a feel and see what it was like. So we arrived here, like I said, 2:30 in the afternoon. We pulled to this actual spot that you see behind us. And we looked out, and we just was looking, and we saw the skyline of Atlantic City a little bit. Probably could see it better on a nice clear day, further back. And so we said, okay.
He just goes into a diatribe about flat Earth. He'd be like, yeah, you can totally see Atlantic City from here. Fucking, where's the curvature, pal? Where's the curvature? You ever think about that?
That's nice, whatever. Let's just go down the road here and see what's around here. So we drive down, and at the end of this road, which is Oyster Creek Road, is a bar called the Oyster Creek Bar. So it was when we turned around, and on our way coming back, I'm driving, and I'm looking out to my left.
He's like, and I'm drunk as fuck. I'm just hammered, but I'm driving.
And, doing maybe like I say, maybe 30, 40 miles per hour is when I started seeing something that looked like a tan, sand color, khaki colored camel. And I'm like, what am I looking at? And I seen it, but it was breaking up because of me driving and the passing of the trees. So I'm like, this is incredible. So I had to pull over.
It's like, there's a fucking flying camel next to me. What could it be?
To the same clearing. And when we pulled over, we all get out the car and we look out.
Dude, if a fucking flying camel, if I looked over, okay, if I'm driving somewhere out in the middle of fucking nowhere and I see a flying camel, or what I think is a flying camel, keeping pace with my car at 30 or 40 miles an hour, I'm just hitting the gas a little harder. I'm getting out of there, okay? Troubling says, quote unquote, what had happened was that little motherfucker came and landed on my lade and asked me about $350. You know what he said to me? I'm going to need about $350. Hagrid says we was looking for Yakub's secret lab where he made you Mayo monkeys. Shit, man. You know they ain't the Pine Barrens, man.
And this is about, I don't know, maybe 100, 150 yards, maybe 200 yards, give or take. I look out, and what appeared to me looks like what I thought was maybe a horse or a cow. And I'm like, what is somebody's cow or horse got loose? My son Stefan was like, Dad, I can't see it. And that's when I pointed and I said, look over my finger. And when he looked over my finger, that's when he saw it. And it was incredible. It was incredible. And yeah. Steph, you can elaborate on it a little more.
Yeah, it was standing like right out there towards the middle and was actually walking back towards the woods. And it did kind of look like a horse from the back, and you could see that it had like a tail.
It's just Pineys out there just dressing up like the Jersey Devil, fucking with city folk. Why would it just leave? I don't understand. I mean, I guess the Jersey Devil, he doesn't want any trouble. He just wants to go along to get along, just like everybody else, you know? If you don't fuck with him, he don't fuck with you. If you're gonna stay out of the Barrens, he's like, you know what? You guys look like you might be coming here to case the place, but since you're just hanging out on the side of the road, I'm gonna let it slide.
Behind it, that like was low to the ground, and it was no explanation for it. There was I've never seen anything like it. It was definitely life-changing. And again, it was right there, right out in the center. I don't know if you can really see that far from this distance, but that's why when we did take the picture with the cell phone, we were just blown away by what we saw.
Yeah, it was
Never
incredible.
Seen anything like it.
It couldn't have been.
It changed my life. Hagrid says, yeah, Dad's finger was smelling like a dead tuna. What was that shit about? Trelling says, I gave him money, Pop. My son gave him money. I said, boy, Don't you give that monster money, but he don't listen. He don't listen.
No more than maybe about
It was probably
about
3 feet.
Yeah, 3 feet in height.
Yeah,
And it was like
color. It was
black,
solid
deep, like a chocolate brown almost. And you know, it's hard to describe because in some instances it looked like a miniature wildebeest or a little mare or some type.
I mean, they're saying that this 3-foot tall creature, is halfway to the line of the woods here, woods here, and they're able to pull all this kind of detail from that. Come on, boys, come on.
Type of four-legged animal, and it was walking with its back towards us, and occasionally it would stop and it would turn its head from right to left, and it would keep walking. But the strange thing about it, as it was walking, it never advanced. It just kind of seemed like it was just walking in motion. And you know,
So okay, it didn't advance. So you say it was like walking in place. This is very spooky. This is very spooky.
We were just astounded. We were looking at each other, going back and forth, questioning each other. Did we really see what we saw?
See, what the reason why he keeps having to repeat everything and he has to be so emphatic is because he's looking at the girl's face. He's looking at the cameraman's face. You know, they promised that they would drive out there, and these guys had quite the yarn, you know, quite the tale to tell. And they get out there, and they're like, yeah, man, we were drunk. We were coming home from the bar, and I saw a fucking flying camel. And then we pulled over, and there was this, you know, this thing out there. And, you know, and then we left. And they're like, oh shit, we've just wasted an entire Saturday. An entire Saturday gone down the drain.
It was clearly life-changing.
It was very bizarre.
Never
seen anything like it, man. Never seen anything like it. And we've been back to the area multiple times.
20, 30 times for the last 2 years.
And there's been times where we've come out here and there was nothing.
Nothing. And then
You know, sometimes the trips were for no reason, but then other days we'd come out and it'd be out and about doing its thing.
Right.
It's just, it was definitely a incredible.
Oh, so we're talking multiples. This is a Jersey Devil hotspot. This is a Jersey Devil hotspot. People are going to be lining up all over the side of the road here. It's going to cause problems with traffic. You know, they've let out this good info. Somebody get a hold of Dave Hodges. I need a full report. I need to know the details. I need to know about keto and gold as well, obviously. It's a Dave Hodges video. But come on. Let me see here. Hagbard shared a picture. Hold on. I gotta share the right one. There we go. There it is. There it is, everybody. The Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil, ladies and gentlemen. This is the real Jersey Devil. Like, you guys have heard stories, you've heard legends. That's all bullshit. Okay? These guys, now they've seen him and they know where he is. They know how to repeat the phenomenon. This is scientific. This is basically science at this point. They're able to repeat it. You think they'd have fucking pictures and videos? You think they'd have shit out the wazoo if they go out of their way to drive all the way here to see if it's there? Yeah, I heard them. Sometimes it's not there, man. Yeah, I get it. You know, not everybody's gonna bat 1,000. But you would think you'd have equipment, good cameras, etc. At some point in doing this over the past 3 years. Now you got this poor male monkey out here, cold, on the side of a road, listening to your boring story.
Incredible experience. It just goes to show that you could never doubt anything. Like the stuff that people think is not real. You can't say that.
Yeah.
There's things out here in this world that we just may never know.
Yeah.
And I believe that the Jersey Devil is one of them.
Is one of them, yeah.
I really do.
It's a lot of...
How many times do you guys think you've encountered the Jersey Devil?
What?
He's like, man, well, Stefan here had sex with him. He just keeps escalating things. Oh, and another thing.
least
Three,
like,
4, 5 times, 3 or 4. Well,
quite a few times we've come out here, and there's been times where it would be like over in the bushes, and like, again, we talked earlier and like how you said there's like deer and stuff, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, why would a deer be in the marsh? And that's
Exactly.
kind of it is.
Exactly. Why would a deer be? Why would animals be in the marsh? That doesn't happen. That doesn't make any sense. Deer, other animals, they're not going to go into the fucking marsh. It's got to be the Jersey Devil. It has to be. I mean, he's like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you get me. He's sweet on her. The cameraman, who is definitely her boyfriend. Definitely her boyfriend. Better watch out. Stefan has been unleashed. Now we're getting to understand the real reason why they wanted to come out here. He wants to ask somebody to the prom or something. Some kind of dance. Some kind of, maybe it's a piney, maybe they're fucking pineys. And this is how they trap people into the piney lifestyle. You know, it's just like the gypsies. Like, do you marry into the gypsy life? Watch out. Hagbard says, Trembling says, quote unquote, the Jersey Devil scared my son here so bad he'd be talking like the comic view impressions of a white guy now. I mean, come on. Come on, man. Fucking scared the melanin right out of his skin. He's basically white now. What the hell, man?
Deer-like to like a degree.
Yeah.
I would say it's kind of deer-like, but the coloring is like totally different. This thing is like solid, almost black, like totally black. And it was definitely like an incredible experience. And like I said, I mean, it was all possible with Mother Lee's 13th Child. You know, the documentary. We watched it. We came down, and June 3rd was
life-changing.
It was life-changing.
It was life-changing, and we had like I said, several different encounters, and in this area, we came down in the evening, which I was trying to tell you guys earlier. We came down in the evening. It might have been about 4:30. We came down.
Yeah, it was
in the winter
blue
time,
hour. It was like dark.
where you get dark early. So we came down, same spot. We looking out, same distance. He says that he
I
saw.
like that all of their excavations, they don't leave the highway. They don't leave the road. They're like, yeah, we just like look off into the marsh. You mean you guys go into the woods? What are you, crazy? So the Pineys live.
Saw it.
Yeah, it was out there.
It was out there. Now here's the strange part of the story that you guys haven't heard yet. From this distance, he was looking, and he kept saying, "Dad, I can't see." His eyes was watering
really bad.
I was
standing
here,
here and you were.
He just said his son was crying like a bitch. He just told that to all the world. Trembling says, quote unquote, Carlton ass motherfucker, I don't even believe you came out my balls. I'm taking your mama to Maury. First thing in the morning. We getting this settled now.
Over by where the truck is, maybe
by the car, and he
10
was
feet.
talking, and I was like, Steph, I can't hear you.
I couldn't see it.
I'm like, I can't hear you. It felt like my ears was clogged because we all agreed of the compression in it.
Oh, see, that's the ghost. Yeah, that's the Mexican ghost. He's a silly guy. He does lots of weird shit like that. Yeah, he's saying, oh, you feel the pressure. Yeah, because he was a pilot. He used to fly planes. That's why. It's all coming together.
The silence out here. And that's when he came back over to the car and he pointed to about like right where the bend is at. And he was like, Dad, there it is.
And the reason I said that was because when I looked up the street, what I thought was a deer coming out, you could see like a face come out by where the bend in the road is, right there by the tree at the corner. It came out into the street, but then it went back into the brush, and it started coming up the right side of the road here through the weeds, and you could see it moving through. You could see the outline of something, but I just thought it was strange. I'm like, why would a deer be coming to me? It should be running from me.
Do you think that had something to do with why you couldn't hear and why you couldn't see?
I believe we were under paranormal attack.
Yeah, that's
I
what
really
I think.
do.
Because
I honestly feel
what
that.
he saw.
Oh, I wish he was more centered in the frame, because that would be a drop. I believe we were under paranormal attack. I mean, what other explanation could there be?
Oh,
I didn't see, and what I saw, he didn't see. Now,
Not
what
at
I
all.
saw, the branches were moving, and what I saw from about the chest from here to about the shoulder, about almost mid-head, was like a solid black image, pitch black.
Pitch black.
And I'm like, what am I seeing? And the branch was moving. So when the branch went up, it took its head and just moved its head around like that. And I was like, let's go.
Let's go, right?
We ran to the car.
That was just a crackhead. That was a fentanyl addict, an opioid-addicted lost soul wandering in and out of the pines looking for, one of these mentors we heard about earlier, Trembling says, quote-unquote, that son of a bitch ate my other son. That why he ain't here. He's losing the girl, so reaching for something hard. Yeah, he's got to really up the stakes now. He's like, we'll get her back. We'll get her back.
Yeah.
And then they followed us to our house, and they killed everyone. I don't know what it was, man. We were under supernatural attack.
When I hit the lights, I saw like just for like a millisecond, looked like cat eyes, like flash, gone. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it was when I hit the headlights, maybe there's a pole or reflectors, but no, it was behind that last tree at the corner.
It was at the corner in the bend. It was past the pole that's there. It was past that, and it was coming up the street.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
And it was crazy. And the thing about it was, when we came down, it was like a cool evening, like right now. We said, let's wear jackets because it might be cold out here. We're gonna be in the marsh. But when we got out here,
It was hot. It was too hot for the coats, man. It's fucking crazy, dude.
and when it started happening, the air got real warm.
It was like easily like 70 degrees in December.
It got warm.
Right here where we're
Yeah,
standing.
it was crazy.
It was easily
nuts.
like 70 degrees
That's
down here.
wild. I've never heard that before. Usually,
It was
like
easily 70 degrees.
Because you guys say you think it's
Easily 70.
Yes,
Easily.
that's what-
Usually it gets cold. rather
Easily.
than hot. So
This was
that's-
hot.
It was hot.
It was hot. Like we came out of our jackets because of how warm it was right here.
It was December.
Yeah, it was in December. And we came down
And
in the winter
that's
in the
why
evening.
and you said something about it being paranormal. That's what we tend to believe, and that's probably why it has never been captured. It's been shot at. It's never been hit with a bullet, or people shot at it with cannons. Because I think what people are dealing with is some sort of spiritual manifestation.
It's
Paranormal, definitely.
It's paranormal.
Definitely.
I would agree.
Definitely.
I would say it's paranormal. Definitely.
Shapeshifter.
It's definitely
yes.
a shapeshifter.
Yes.
Like I showed you the photograph I gave you. We took multiple photographs actually.
Yeah.
And you, yeah.
They're in the drawing box.
Yeah,
let's
and
actually-
This would be a good thing to have in your documentary. Are they really just standing on the side of the fucking road talking this entire time? I mean, if I was there, I'd be having a great time. This would be top tier entertainment for me in my life. I might even bum a smoke off of somebody and be like, dude, yeah, tell me all about it. Tell me all about it. I got time.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But watching it,
Is about this place right here.
what we tend to believe in for our 2-year investigation, we believe that the grounds we standing on right now is the general area where this legend or this creature has been, where it was born.
Yeah, and we're going to show them the old Leeds House Foundation too.
Yeah.
That's up the road, not far from here. So.
Because a lot of people put out information that, it was born in Batstow, it was born.
he's like, people got the wrong info. People be lying. Trump says, these dudes are cracking me up by how obviously they're lying. They're doing, I don't know. This is do we think that they're lying, or do they really think that it's just like a paranormal entity? These are paranormal experiences. You can kind of, I don't know. It's not like a group hallucination, but like, you can creep people out if you're very insistent. If you're very insistent about what is happening to you and what you are quote unquote seeing, etc. That there's like a kind of social contagion that happens. It'll kind of move through. If you've ever been camping and tried to creep out the campsite, sometimes it'll work. Sometimes you can kind of watch it spread to everybody that you're with, like the 3 or 4 people that you're with, and suddenly everybody's hearing and seeing spooky things, etc. Trembling says the Jersey Devil is easily a Skrull, dog. Easily.
Born here, and it was just born in the Pine Barrens. Well, we know the Pine Barrens runs for, if not hundreds of miles, through through South Jersey, almost into North Jersey. So that could be anywhere, but being that this is Leeds Point, and we know that this was the child of the Leeds family, we believe that this is the genesis of this creature.
It's
where
totally
it
the
began.
Genesis ground.
Yeah.
Totally. This is
Yeah.
where everything is.
And these are the photos.
Yeah, this is the photograph.
Now, mind you, let's tell everybody. Oh, you hold that picture,
Oh,
Steph.
sure, yeah.
This was taken on a cell phone from this distance, which is right behind us,
It's that
with a
simple.
cell phone camera.
And it's right there in the center of the photograph. You can even see it has like a small curled, like a front arm, and people always said it had like small arms.
Yeah.
And that to me looks like small arms,
It does.
and it's like a black in color.
That looks like a fucking bird, my dude. Yeah. This on a cell phone. These are obviously, I don't know, are these not good cell phones, guys? I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not making any judgments. I used plenty of burner cell phone in my day. But when it comes to capturing Jersey Devil evidence, I mean, the fidelity on this thing is conveniently bad. Conveniently bad. Who knows what the kind of artifacting is going on here? These guys are kooks. These guys are kooks.
And it was standing right out there.
Right at the distance. And
Right there.
I took 3 separate photos with my cell phone, and if you look at the images closely, you can see same distance. I stood in the same spot, took 3 different photos, and got 3 different images.
You can see that it
You can
actually
see
changed
it
form.
changed. It changes
It
form.
went through like stages of appearing.
Yes. So, and this is no.
Hagbard brings up an excellent point. It says it's shape shifted into bird form. Jersey Devil is a World of Warcraft druid.
Hoax. This is,
No.
if anyone says, well, how do we know if you guys didn't go out there and prop something out? If you look behind us, there's water.
There's water right here.
You're not going to make it no more than maybe 6 feet before you get stuck in probably a foot of mud.
And there's no point to even access it even from the other side.
And we're going
And
to
we
show
talked
that.
about
We're going to show that
earlier,
off
yeah.
of Scotts Landing Road, that you cannot even access to go or come around to this side to see Oyster Creek from that vantage
And
point.
you guys
Yeah, we-
believe in this so much that you took the time to print this out from your cell phone. I don't know what kind of cell phone it was.
Oh my God, you guys believe in this so much you took the time to print out the picture. I mean, this is like when you really want to believe. Or she just feels like, man, my documentary's kind of fucked. I should have vetted these guys a little bit better. But I guess we're going to have to make the best of it because she's a professional. Okay, she's a pro. Trumping says, I hope he shows his ancient Irish flute for summoning tree leprechauns. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. As they're walking through the Pine Barrens, they just throw out everything. They're just going out with every myth and legend you've ever heard of. And also, of course, flat Earth. And Hagbard coming in with some facts. He says, black folks can't swim. Duh.
It was just my Samsung
I think he had a Galaxy 9.
Galaxy
I think he had a
9.
Galaxy
And you figure we're taking this with a cell phone camera, with a camera the size of a piece of crumb of a bread.
From
I
right
mean,
here.
from
Yeah,
here,
from right
from
here.
about 150 maybe
That's got to be 150 yards at
Yeah.
least, I would say.
at least.
Do you think there's a possibility of like it's some kind of a spirit that because Mother Leeds cursed her son, it went into that being, and because it's been so many hundreds of years,
I believe so.
I
that
believe so
it's
too.
a spirit, not necessarily because you guys are saying it's transforming.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? So it can go in and out of humans, like possession. So like Mother Leeds' 13th son might have only been possessed by the Jersey Devil. It might not be the only Jersey Devil. You know?
Yeah.
And that's why you got to watch out. See, this is basically, they're about to be walking into something of a Fallen scenario. You remember the movie Fallen? You remember Azazel? That's what could be happening here. And maybe this is what's going on. They are vessels, or they're like servants of the Jersey Devil. And they're looking for a new body for the Jersey Devil to inhabit with its spirit. They're trying to lure these Mayo monkeys out into the Pine Barrens, into the marsh, where they can't escape. And the spirit of the Jersey Devil can have its way with them. Trembling says, I'm getting me a backhoe and uproot that tree. I want the gold, says Trembling. He wants it all. I gotta get it.
I mean, I believe
There's
that
probably
this area,
more than one.
there's more than
Definitely.
one, and that's why it can
Possibility is very
appear.
great.
It has appeared in various locations throughout the state of New Jersey, because most people believe that this is a 284-year-old creature that has flesh and bone. I don't think what we're dealing with is a living, breathing.
Yeah, that's fucking stupid, he says. He's like, that's retarded. You think this thing's a material being? You think this is flesh and blood that we're dealing with here? Obviously not. Idiots. Hagbard says, got you now, Snow Roach. Oh my god, Snow Roach, that's a good one. I gotta remember that one. Snow Roach. I do like to whip out the male monkey every once in a while. I definitely do that from time to time. It brings a lot of joy to my house. Trembling says, the girl starts singing, time is on my side. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Animal. We're dealing with a spiritual entity. That's what I think we're dealing with.
Definitely.
Do you think it's evil?
Do I think it's evil? I don't think it's evil because there's never been no record of it ever.
I think it depends on the
harming
person
people.
too. I feel like spirits can also attract to certain energies. I feel
Yeah, that's why these guys have never been attacked, because they're good boys. And they're completely normal, they're cool, it's safe to go into the Pine Barrens with us, is what he's trying to say. He's like, spirits know, man. They know when you're a piece of shit. They know when you're a good guy. We're obviously good guys. Let us photograph it, okay? If it didn't want to be photographed, it would have supernaturaled its way out of it. We would have been left with nothing. Instead, we have right here these cell phone pictures, irrefutable evidence, proof of the Jersey Devil's existence. And he did that because we're good guys.
it depends on what you bring with you.
It's a possibility.
That's just my take at it. I don't think it's necessarily evil. I just think that more than anything, that when it does appear, people are in shock by it, but it never really does anything to you. It just, you see it, and the same way we experienced it right here, how we saw it, it didn't do anything to us.
Didn't do anything, no.
I wouldn't say it's evil.
I mean, maybe just like humans, it just wants like acknowledgement,
Yeah,
Just like
misunderstood.
anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
misunderstood.
Something,
Yeah, maybe.
something came through, and it's been in this area and throughout the state for 284 years or so.
Yeah.
Even the Indians talked about it. That the natives, they talked about it. They call it what, the dragon, the land of the dragon.
It was like place of the dragon. It's like Kupoisik or something like that of that nature.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is our story, and I mean, when you guys analyze the photos, you're gonna see there's different faces. I showed you there's faces in the images.
There's definitely spirits out
There's spirits out there.
Definitely.
I like how he's this is a good confidence game. This is a good con. Because these male monkeys, they're stupid. These snow roaches, they're simple. They want to believe in the Jersey Devil. They provide this evidence and then proceed to fill their heads with the things that they're going to find. They set the parameters. They spark the imagination. It's kind of like the EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. Usually, sounds like a garbled mess. If you see a subtitle that suggests that it's saying something, oftentimes you will actually feel like you're hearing that thing. Your brain does that because your brain wants to make sense out of a garbled mess. Just like a picture. Same thing. Same phenomenon. I've watched enough ghost hunting shows to understand this. I may be new to the Jersey Devil myth, the legend, but I know this game. I know this game, brother. And I respect you. Drumming says, quote unquote, that Jersey Devil told me it's like this picture. Says it wants me to shoot some thirst traps for it. Oh boy.
We had quite a few things happen to us out here. So, and Tuck had mentioned that this could
He's like, I got robbed down the road at that bar.
be a possible ground of a portal. I don't deny it, because when you guys first came out here, you felt it. You can just silence, dead silence.
I can feel it
Nothing.
now.
Yeah.
There goes the
It's
silence. You
just-
heard that?
Nothing.
Right.
Just be quiet.
Just listen.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up, Stefan.
Nothing. You hear nothing. You can almost just hear the ring in your ears because there's like dead silence.
And how is the question? Like, just like Tuck said, how is it so quiet? How?
There's something out here.
Magic. Supernatural phenomenon. You've explained it. I believe you. Show me those pictures again. Trumping says Snow Roach and Moon Cricket is going to bring back the buddy cop genre.
My house quiet, like places quiet, so I can film it here.
Yeah.
And it's never this quiet.
Nearly impossible.
This is quiet.
This is very quiet.
It's eerie at night.
It's
There's no lights. There's no lights on this road.
No, I think there's maybe a street light up at Scott's Landing.
At the-
I think.
Maybe at Scott where? Just before we come in, yeah.
Right there at the corner, I think.
I mean, if you guys want to go to Scott's Landing and see that road, because that
will
was
definitely take you.
that was one of the late family members of the Leeds, Harry Leeds, said that this road that we about to go to called Scott's Landing was an escape route for the Jersey
Yeah,
Devil.
that's what I heard too. That it was an escape route. So
And this road is creepy.
and it's kind of
Should we
funny
go?
to definitely.
All
I think we should go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
An escape route. All right, let's skip ahead a little bit here. Jesus Christ.
What a deer be doing all the way out here, man.
Oh my God. Why would there be deer out here, dude? Why would they be all the way out here? What the fuck?
We've ever seen.
Look, it's a track.
This led us right into the next story. So listen up.
So that's my print. What is that right there?
That's hooves.
That's
Looks like I don't know if it's deer prints.
What would a deer be doing all the way out here, man? Right there.
I see it.
You see that?
You know, if they're lying, it's amazing. If they know that they're lying, and if this isn't some sort of, I don't know, people are delusional all the time, or people think that they see things when they don't, etc. People want to believe in this stuff. Like I said, even myself, I have a desire for these things to be true. But you gotta love it. I love the rationale. What would a deer be doing all the way out here, man? Come on. Why would you even say something so stupid? Come on, Dad.
That's not another one, is it?
Track.
Looks like it.
Super freaking weird. It's not a dog thing either.
No.
Nah, it's two prints.
Track.
There's one there.
Yeah, there
there's
is.
one there.
Tracks.
Oh man.
Like
That's
this
a weird distance.
kind of
too.
thing.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it's
tracks.
crouched.
It's like a hoof.
Now,
No way.
Tuck, you got my picture. I sent you the hoof. That's what it was like. See, that's a good size too. It's about the size of my hand.
All right, so we've all heard the infamous lead story. Do you guys think that maybe the child was just deformed and people thought it was a devil?
You want to answer that?
Yeah.
No, that was definitely a demon conjured from hell by Lady Leeds. No doubt in my mind. I mean, what would she be? I mean, what are you talking about? Why would people think something like that? Why wouldn't it? Well, why wouldn't a demon happen out here? Look where we are, very remote. Trelming says, "What would a wild animal be doing in the middle of nowhere? Come on, brah. Come on, man." He's trying to fill up this documentary with a bunch of nonsense. He's like, "Stop it, Dad. We've had enough. Stop trying to hide the truth."
I do honestly believe that it was very possible that Mother Leeds did have a deformed child. And there's been a lot of rumor that the child was possibly born severely deformed with webbing of the hands and the skin. And I've heard that the child did have like a cleft palate and had a lot of severe medical issues. And 1735, during that time, people were not very educated. So a child born abnormally was considered to be demonic or a devil.
Cursed.
Cursed of
Makes sense.
some sort. So I feel like, yes, that it was just it was a deformed child born in a time of like ignorance, as in like.
So it's just an ugly kid.
He's nothing but a ghoul and a goblin who works at the basement.
That's what Lady Leeds' 13th child was. A ghoul, a goblin.
People just didn't quite understand what it was.
Yeah,
and,
being purely superstitious.
and she was aged to be, I think, 50. I think she was born like 1684 or something like
Yeah.
that, and then 1735.
So that it was rare to have a kid at that age.
It
or
was
even be
very
alive
rare.
during
Very
that
rare.
time.
Yeah.
And it was also
very
it was also rumored that because of the child being so severely deformed, he couldn't talk. All he could do was scream, and the only time the child would come out, she would bring the child out in the evening.
So
and
no one would
so
see him.
no one would see him, but they would hear the screams, and that also led to more of the legend. And oh man, she gave birth to a demon-like child. So
He's like, man, I've been watching all these documentaries on Tubi. You should really check some of them out. A lot of wild, crazy information.
yeah, it was. We tend to believe that this child.
And I definitely feel that people were probably highly curious. And you can see the area itself. At the time, it was like a very, like, probably as it is today, very isolated. It's like away from everything.
Probably was. Trelling says, quote unquote, that child was Sloth from the Goonies looking motherfucker. His name was Jason, and he wasn't a good swimmer.
So it wasn't hard for word to get around about something that was a devil or a demon was in the area out here.
And also, we need to bring to light that her husband was an oysterman. And
Yeah.
and the reason why we believe where we standing right now, which is on the boat launch at the edge of Scott's Landing Road, it's more likely to believe that the house was somewhere in this general area because he had access to water, so he could fish or whatever it was. And I'm pretty sure,
Feed his family.
almost 280 something years ago, it was a lot different than it is now.
Yeah,
So
much different.
yeah. Wow. So,
Yeah, I mean, and this legend is so powerful. It's such a powerful legend, and being in the birthplace today, it makes you wonder that it really just could have been a deformed child.
These guys got to have a YouTube channel or something, right? They got to. All right, skip ahead a little bit. It's just them talking out here.
the power it needs to manifest itself, as you said. That's what I tend to believe. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
Also, I love the wonderful music. The music choices. Ooh. Ooh, boy.
Makes sense that the story is based here, and the other foundation is like a little further away.
About 4 miles.
Yeah, but anything's possible.
It's but the only reason why I think it's more or less here, because if she was pregnant with a child, because some people say that might have been a birthing house, or
That's what I heard. I heard it was a birthing house.
I mean, it's all kinds of stories that you hear, but we tend to believe that where we're standing is the general area, and we have an impression which is not under a mile right from where we stand right now, and we're going to show you guys that.
Okay. Awesome.
During our initial investigation, we first believed that the foundation shown here was the birthplace of the Leeds Devil. But considering its location adjacent to the Collins burial ground, it's apparent that Stefan and Michael were indeed right about the location of the actual foundation.
It does, and you heard the word birthing.
Birth.
Yes,
From
we
a
heard
deep
we
voice.
heard
Yes.
the word birthing from the first time that we came out here, and it came from the side off the
It was from
passenger
my
side of the car.
Yeah.
And we heard a deep, heavy-voiced man just say it real quickly. At first,
These guys are on another show, too. So I just looked up Jersey Devil Stefan. The Paranormal Files from a month ago. Holy shit, this is very long though. All of these are too long. Okay, we're gonna jump ship. I think we kind of get it, but I want to see. They have another part of another documentary. Demon caught on camera at the Devil's Forest. Do not visit alone. New Jersey murder woods. So these guys are all steeped in all the Jersey, all the Jersey lore. They ain't fucking around. They're serious. They're serious New Jerseyans.
Verify that this is a paranormal demon.
we found bones back there. We saw a decapitated.
Jesus Christ, things have escalated, man. So that documentary we were just watching, I checked their channel. They don't have any other Jersey Devil stuff. But it seems like a lot of things have happened in the 3 years since that was posted. That was posted in 2020. This is posted a month ago. My goodness.
Deer.
There was a deer down there that was slaughtered, had a pentagram around it. Wow.
The Pine Barrens has been a body dumping ground for many years. Look at that, bro.
Being followed.
There's a curse.
New Jersey Devil is.
This is one of the most extreme things we've ever done.
Kyle, were you shot by?
Oh man, I wish I knew about this earlier. Oh, we'll listen to these guys
A
talk.
gun?
This is a over 2 hours long. That must be their whole night. Oh man, maybe I have to put that in a dossier for Halloween or something.
This is the first time I've been scratched in years.
And if you hear a twig crack behind you, beware. It could be you know who.
Oh! Oh, no, no! Dad, no, leave the equipment. Oh.
You think someone's actually getting hurt out there?
Yeah. Do these guys look like the type of fellas that might be put on a show, perhaps?
Tonight on the Paranormal Files, we're deep in the New Jersey Pine Barrens, one of the most dangerous and most haunted places in the entire state. For decades, the Pine Barrens has been a place where murderers come to dispose of dead bodies, where spirits...
I will say another thing I appreciate about all this piney talk we've had tonight. Everybody describes the Pine Barrens and pineys and all this kind of stuff completely differently. Now, I mean, I would have assumed that it was a place to dump bodies. You know, I would have assumed. But not everybody's willing to just put that out there. Finally, we found someone.
roam amongst the trees, and where one notorious creature nicknamed the Jersey Devil calls home. So join us tonight as we embark on this deeply dark and disturbing journey. Let me tell you, the stories you're about to hear are shocking. These are current day sightings of the Jersey Devil that we're talking about, and we're talking about people that...
Dude, if they... Okay, these guys are here. They're in the beginning. Do these dudes go on the hunt with them? Oh, wow, they talked to these guys for a long fucking time. Do they go? I don't think they go on the hunt with them, because if they went on the hunt with them, man, that would be so sweet.
are a well-known body dumping location for murderers, serial killers, mobsters, all sorts of nefarious individuals. All you have to do is Google Pine Barrens murder and you'll find tons of different murders that have taken place there, and I'm sure there are a ton of bodies that are out there in the Barrens that have yet to be found. I know I didn't explain the story fully, but the Jersey Devil is this demonic creature that flies through the sky. It's kind of like the Mothman in West Virginia, and it attacks people. Apparently it is not friendly, and like I said, it's got hooven feet, it's got all these different animal features, and it's supposedly warped from a baby into this demonic creature. Go read up on the Jersey Devil. That's a quick crash course, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Let's hop into the video. And one thing I'm going to point out first before we start is that one thing that's up for debate when it comes to the Jersey Devil is the location of the Leeds house where the Jersey Devil was supposedly born. Now, in the very first scene of this video, we're going to be taking a tour of the supposed location of the Leeds house. Now, some people say it's the house that's at the end of the street, others say it's behind a cemetery.
Nothing changed.
There we go.
Since that map has been constructed. Even from our current mapping system, this area's history is exactly as it was. It's just the souls are missing.
So they must be famous around town. Anybody that passes through New Jersey and wants to talk about the Jersey Devil, you go talk to Michael and Stefan, okay? That's your point of contact. They must be covering all the message boards or whatever. Maybe do you think they do tours? Do you think they do tours? Like, yeah, man, we'll show you where we took this picture.
From the picture, that's it.
Yeah, and like you were saying, that's the bend in the road that's on that map.
Yes, that's the bend. That's the bend in the road that is what we know as Moss Mill Road, and then just beyond us, maybe like, I don't know, 50 yards, is Lee's Point Road. And that was the road where I actually saw a decapitated deer with his head removed. His head was completely severed. But the strange thing about the
How could this have happened? There's only one explanation, okay?
decapitation of the deer was the head was not removed and the neck to be placed on a plaque.
Like mounted.
Like mounted.
No.
It was actually severed at the head.
It looked like something just cut it off, and there
Just
was
cut it
no
off.
blood, not on the ground or around the body of the carcass. There
No,
was
not
no
at all.
blood.
Not at all.
Strangest thing. And
That's the deer.
That is.
You think maybe somebody dumped it on the side of the road? Maybe some fucking Jersey weirdo? Maybe some a piney? Like, well, we just needed his head. We didn't need his whole body. Yeah, you can just fuck the head. This works fine. More sanitary.
So bizarre.
completely
Yes.
off, man.
So what
No.
do you think that's from?
It couldn't have been a car that hit it.
Not possible.
Because, I'm a CDL driver by trade, and I've seen many a deer hit, and usually when a deer is hit, it's splattered across the road.
Yeah, dude, when you hit a deer in a truck, anything other than like a small car, they pretty much just explode. Last time I hit a deer was in South Carolina, but it just crushed the hood of my car because I had a little shitty car at the time. But when I was pipelining and I was in the Midwest, deers are everywhere. They're like rats. It's only a matter of time before you hit a fucking deer. And one rainy, stormy night, driving home from the site, a deer jumped out, fucking hit our car. The whole thing fucking like popped like a fucking balloon, and just shit and piss and ass was everywhere. Covered the entire windshield. Like, we were going like 70 miles an hour. It was actually kind of a harrowing moment. Couldn't see anything on a windy fucking highways in the Midwest. Blinded by deer shit. Yeah, it was wild. It was wild. It just like evaporated.
Road,
It's like
you know?
hamburger
It's
meat.
just
It's just everywhere.
grinded up. This deer that I just showed you in the picture, its head was completely severed, like it was taken off purposely, intentionally.
That's how I feel.
Exactly. So what did it?
That remains a mystery.
Yeah, that
and that's
remains
why
a
we're
mystery.
here.
I mean, it's even been rumored, and I'm not.
He's like, that's why we do this, man. To find the truth. To find that truth, boy. There's been rumors. I don't know, man. He's like, I don't know if I want to speculate this way, but
Put no one's names out that some people come here to practice Satanism to pay homage to the creature or the legend, and that could be one of the reasons, why the head was missing.
A ritual.
yeah, he doesn't want to get anything twisted. He doesn't want to expose his other son, who is a Satanist who worships the Jersey Devil, because the Jersey Devil now inhabits him. That's what they're hiding. That's why they have to go out there and solve this mystery to save their son and their brother. Trump says, deer are the dumbest fucks too. They jump in front of cars. Dude, it's fucking... Driving in the Midwest at night is like up in Wyoming and Montana is super fucking stressful. And because deers are all over the place, because they have all sorts of weird hunting laws. They don't let people hunt anymore. And they're fucking everywhere, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like, it's terrifying when you remember that they're, oh shit, like you'll see just eyes in the fucking distance on the hills. You're like, oh fuck. Fuck, I'm driving into what could be like a minefield.
Of some sort.
Like some sort of ritual. And if you look at the picture again, and like I said, I'm going to send that to you. Not only is the head removed, but the hind rear leg, all the other legs are there on the deer.
Yeah, that's like something sacrificial.
Something sacrificial
Yeah.
or used for some sort of dark arts or black magic. I don't know.
Probably used to summon an evil spirit or something. Like
Something.
you said, if the people are coming here to pay homage to a satanic cryptid,
Exactly.
makes sense that something's getting its
A satanic cryptid. You heard it here first. These guys have really, they've developed this story. I mean, even 3 years ago, they were saying some wild stuff, but, relatively speaking, pretty tame. Now they're talking about the fucking roving bands of Satanists making sacrifices to the Jersey Devil, summoning dark spirits. This guy looks like he's crazy. This guy looks like he has schizophrenia. Trellick says, Satanist killing animals. Now you're speaking my language. This is what we thought we'd find in the woods every time. When I grew up in Massachusetts, I was convinced that some of the weird people that I lived near were witches. I think they were, though. 'Cause they used to go, these people, they'd go into the graveyard at night. So there was like a public graveyard, and it was like a very rural town in Massachusetts, Royalston, Mass. Very small town. And there was a kind of a cool old school graveyard. You know, I'd been there a few times during the daytime. And I think it was like Big Paul. We were like, we're going to go down there and we're going to see if people are there. Because we talked about it. We joked about it. We joked about the witches and Royalston. And by God, wouldn't you know it? Fucking people in the graveyard. Me and Big Paul, much like most of the people that have seen the Jersey Devil, at least we think that's what we saw. And I would just we jumped into a fucking ditch. We jumped into a ditch and just laid there for like an hour, telling each other to shut the fuck up. Because we were so freaked out. I have actually a few shared weird experiences with Big Paul that we've had over the years and our travails. If he ever wants to, he can come on, we can talk about it. Fremick says, I'm completely convinced there are witches all over the place. Listen, maybe. Wiccans? Something. It wouldn't surprise me if there are people that do that kind of stuff, because they believe what they're doing is real. Doesn't mean I think that they're real, but they still do. They act with conviction, just like anybody that believes in anything. If you're religious or whatever. I believe that there's people out there doing wacky stuff. But yeah, I never got to the bottom of the Royalston witches, though. It was something that was kind of there. It was like kind of passing and fleeting, and I think I moved away before I like further investigated anything like that. But it's definitely something that stuck with me over the years, for sure. I still feel creeped out thinking of going up like this kind of like a long dirt road, and then like the graveyard would be there, and hearing and seeing shadows. Like hearing the sounds of people shuffling around and seeing shadows and just being like terrified. I think I probably was like 13 or 14 at the time. Yeah, it was fun. This is a good memory.
His head completely just severed off.
Right.
Exactly.
So
I mean, the lack of blood is also so weird.
Yeah, there was no blood.
blood.
No blood on the body. I mean, you can clearly see it, that there is no blood.
And it's scarred up on its body.
And you can see it was
Yeah, so it looks like it was dumped on the side of the road, guys. How has nobody put forward this theory? They'll be like, nah, man, that's crazy. Why would you drive all the way out there to drop off a headless deer, man? That's crazy.
Strange.
The head was taken off at the head. That's the base of the neck, where if it was going to be mounted onto a plaque, they would take it there so the neck would come out with the head attached.
Yeah, they would have at least cut from
just the head. And like I said, if you look closely,
no back.
The rind here, the hind rear leg
That's
is
so
gone.
weird.
It's also weird too, thinking the fact that like if someone were to kill that deer and they're just wanting, like they're hunting or something, you would take the meat.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, it's like you would take the meat, dude. You would take it. Okay, you wouldn't be messing around like this. You would take that fucking meat. Who the hell just drops off a headless deer? It doesn't make any sense. Okay, it's wackadoo.
You wouldn't just take a leg and a head.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Take the leg and the head off and just leave it there.
Right there.
Right,
literally right there.
Right there.
Right at the corner.
At the corner, right
where
there.
that white car's coming out.
And you make the left, you go down there. Yes. That was the story of the decapitated deer, and this is
the possible foundation.
This definitely was a Leeds house according to the map.
Yeah.
According to the map, this was definitely a Leeds home.
And it's awesome that there's still pieces of the house that still remain. So that just proves that the legend holds truth to some degree.
Yes.
There's nothing like evidence.
Right.
That's it.
And so, if this was the Leeds house, could this have been the birthplace of the Jersey Devil?
It's very possible.
Very possible.
Without a doubt, brother. You fucking cracker.
Very possible.
Very possible. Because not only with the map do we have we have names that verify, plus locations. This is Leeds Point. That is Leeds Point Road. It's only logical to think that that child was born in this general area.
Right.
You know, and then, like I said, and I've said this before, a lot of people say, well, he was born out in Basto's Village Hotel.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, what, 20, 25, 30, maybe 25 miles from here?
Yeah, and that's going the whole opposite
Opposite
direction.
direction.
And if this is based about a lead,
He's like, and you can feel the energy, right? You can feel the energy here. It must be here. It has to be this. You feel that, don't you? You feel it with me, right? Look at these pictures. Look at these pictures we've taken. You see that right there? That's an orb. That's a ghost. That's Miss Leeds. That's Mrs. Leeds. Sorry. Forgive me, Mrs. Leeds. Married woman, mother of 13 children. Don't want to disrespect her.
Leeds family, how much closer does it get than Leeds Point?
Where we at?
Yeah.
It just makes perfect sense that child, that legend, everything probably started right here.
No, thank you. We're looking for the Jersey Devil.
Oh, that's kind of nice. That's a little white pilling, you know? Good people there, making sure that everybody's okay. Maybe she was doing like, maybe she just saw all these white hipsters and these two black guys, and she was like, man, I hope there's like they're not trying to lynch you or anything, right? Trelving says, I want these two to go on a hunt for the creature and turn up both dressed as Blade. Trelving says, arguing that somebody had to be Whistler. Yeah, I was thinking, like, who would be Whistler? You know, he'd be like, nah, Dad, you Whistler. You're old. You got a bum leg. He's like, ah, damn it. No, we both Blade. We both Blade, son.
It's also cool to see that everybody in this town knows about this legend, this cryptid. I mean,
you know, and I'm glad you brought that up because that's true. Because JD's Pub, they got all kinds of
Jersey Devil merchandise.
Yeah, around the corner from here is a bar, and they have a wooden carving of a Jersey Devil inside.
By the bar,
The people in this area, they know,
and it's awesome that they support it. So it gives guys like me, you, and all of us involved that steam to just keep pushing to figure out what's really going on out here. Seriously,
and you guys actually,
they have a captive audience. You know, that's just good business for them. That's just good business. These guys find something. Hot damn. I wonder if they've licensed their photos. Maybe they had do you think they had an argument with the bar owners? Like, man, you can't just be hanging up my pictures. Man, you got to give me some paper. You got to pay a man. Where's my bag? I got to get my bag.
Actually think you might have seen the Jersey Devil.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hands down.
Absolutely.
Recently
We have picture proof. We have picture proof that we're going to show you. Like I said, I'm going to send you everything that I have and all the evidence that we have to support that. It's to the point where we even...
I'm going to send it to you. Why haven't you sent it to them already? I assume they didn't call you this morning. I assume that's not how this worked.
We believe it followed us home.
We've had
because
strange things
happen. I had hoof prints in my yard. He had scratches on his steps. And we have actual pictures of that to prove that.
Well, shit. I guess it's time for y'all to take us.
Dude, serious escalation. They must have started hitting the hunting hard 3 years ago. Now they're talking about being followed home. They have evidence of being followed home. There's scratch marks on the porch. Oh my God. These guys are in deep. They're in too deep to walk away now. Now I understand why they want to be dressed up like Blade, honestly. Trelving says, speaking of Blade, in the Venture Brothers movie, the Blade guy had to fit early 90s New Jack Swing vampires. Cracked me up. You know what? I'm not very familiar with the Venture Brothers. Oh, that makes more sense. Fight. No, I'm not very familiar with it. My wife really loved the Venture Brothers. It's not something I've ever gotten around to watching. I should catch up with it. It seems like something I would really enjoy.
To where that happened.
Let's go.
I want to hear the stories, man.
Let's go.
Awesome.
Tell you where it all happened at.
Perfect, dude.
So the one thing that I love about the hunt and like the search for cryptids is the fact that if it was just one person that had seen the cryptid or heard the story about the cryptid, it would go away after a year or so talking about it. But
how do they feel about things like the Loch Ness Monster? I mean, does the fact that people like keep these legends alive. It's local folklore. There's industry that kind of has been built up around it, for tourism, etc. Like how does the fact that like people have a lot of evidence that seems very suspect, doesn't that like make you feel like, well, maybe there's some bullshit afoot? I mean, like, especially like the Bigfoot stuff. The Bigfoot stuff is so out of control and so elaborate, and every piece of evidence that's ever been presented has been debunked at this point in history. I mean, there's people that talk about how Bigfoot's like fucking steal women out of tents and rape them. It's crazy shit out there, man. Tremlink says, "You'd love Venture Brothers, I'm fairly certain." Yeah, I think I would too. I gotta get off my high horse and watch it.
But the fact that this story has been going around this city for so long,
hundreds of years,
and it's been talked about by so many people have seen it, that it gets to a point of like, there has to be some truth to the story.
Yeah, I think tonight we're gonna find it.
I think so as well.
Trembling says, "This guy on the left, you could convince me, is Stavros from Cumtown. He does look a little bit like Stavros. He definitely does. A little slimmer, though. A little slimmer. But maybe that's who he models his look after. Stavros is a little bit of a celebrity these days."
Before you guys showed up here, this is no lie, and my dad, Dad, I need you to back me up on this.
Yeah.
Hey, look, he's scared, he's creeped out. I'm creeped out, but
Always, dude.
we just gotta stay brave, man. No, my eyes did water when I got here, seriously, for the first time in 5 years. And I have allergies, but I felt as though that we may have something paranormal happen.
Where we at right now is the initial. This is where
I have allergies, but it's definitely not those. Don't worry.
we initially saw it at. It was here. It was what day was that? That was June
3rd, 2017.
2017. It was like 2:30 in the afternoon.
Man, my
It was
palms are sweating.
2:30 in the afternoon.
It was
Hagbard says Bigfoot rape victims are called forest brides. That's correct. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. I'm like, where does all this shit happen? Have there been? You know what? I'm gonna write it down. I think I'm gonna have to do a Bigfoot one of these nights too. I gotta put a Bigfoot dossier together, because I gotta know. It's been such a long time since I've dived into any of this stuff. This is like how I spent most of my teens and my like 20s. It's like watching shit like this.
Like
2:30. It was not a dark, rainy, stormy night. It was 2:30 in the afternoon in the summertime. We could have been at the beach having a good time, but because we watched this documentary called Mother Lee's 13th Child, I saw it when I was a kid. Saw it in 5th grade. Told him about it as I got older, and he's like, "Dad, we should just go down there. Let's just go down there and see what it's about." So I was like, "Okay." So we came down. It was me, my son Stefan, and my other son Jaden, who was just like, "Dad, I don't want no part of that." So, so we arrived to this very spot.
Jaden called us faggots. Trump says the dad is swatting at nothing like the Uncle Remus Mash Liquor commercial from SNL.
So we get out the car, just like we are right now. We look out, and as you can see on the pier there, you can see the skyline of Atlantic City. So we was like, okay, that's cool. All right. We didn't think much of it. At that point, I was ready to leave. I'm like, okay, I seen what I need to see. I said, let me get out of here, He said, "Dad, let's go down to the end of the road, see what's down there, because this is our first time out here. We don't know what's out here." So we get in the car, we go down to the end of the road. There's a restaurant and bar. We turn around, we're coming back this way. So I'm driving, and if you look along the wood line, how you can see the sun casting along the wood line, I'm driving, and I'm driving like this, and the trees are passing. And all of a sudden, it looked like the trees took the shape of what looked like a sand-colored, khaki-colored camel. Like the casting of the sun took the shape of an animal. But I'm passing the trees and it's breaking up my vision. I'm driving, I'm trying to look, I'm like, what is that? And my son's like, "Dad, what are you talking about?" I was like, "I see something." So we get back to the same spot. We pull over, we get out the car, we walk over to this spot, and we look out here. And if you look to the center where the trees kind of split, just before you get to the very end, it was standing with its back towards us, like it was walking away from us.
Yeah, that's like really far away. That's like really fucking far away, dude. I'm just saying.
Really? And I'm looking, and I'm like, this is my first time out here, so I don't know what I'm looking at.
We're doing a Jersey Devil documentary.
Oh, no way. You know where his house is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Just
there.
Alright, yeah, we're local.
You guys ever seen the devil?
I can tell you one thing right now, I'll be honest with you. Back by the Noise Museum.
Okay.
Over Route 9.
Yeah.
There's a dirt road back there, and also right here there's a dirt road that goes to a boat ramp. Scotch Landing.
Yes.
If you want to get freaked out, go there at night.
I told you. Did I tell you? I told you.
I thought they said.
I'll tell you one quick story, and it's no bullshit.
Yeah.
They're like trying to go. Hold on, guys. I'm not done. I got one more quick story for you. One more good bit of info. Hagbert says, "Whoa, druid tree form confirmed." Listen, that's what's out there.
I used to put my boat down all the time with my dad. I was real young, and there was a deer down there that was slaughtered with a knife, and it had a pentagram around it with a ton of.
What?
Wow.
That's what their story is.
We just said that.
They found
I'm
that
not making
decapitated-
shit up, man.
Yo,
I'm
we
telling
just
you.
said that.
I'm not making
We
it.
just said
I
that.
got a picture of a
And then my friend's
decapitated
dad-
deer on my phone.
My friend's dad, they used to party back there. He went to go party one night, right? And there was a huge fire and a ton of people around the fire. And they pulled up, and they were the only car there. And they ran for their lives.
Like a
So
cult,
car, like, they pulled
like a
up and
cult
there was a
meeting
party.
sort of thing.
Huh?
Like a cult.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're not pulling away from you. The car.
I told you, I'm not lying.
Hey,
no,
that's- no,
but I'm
that's-
glad you shared that
that's wild.
because
That just confirms what you were saying.
Yeah, that's
Listen.
exactly what he
No,
did.
but I saw
lying.
the deer. I saw it with my own two
I'm
eyes.
not lying
That's
to you,
not-
man. I saw that on video.
He's doing. That's the most black guy shit I've ever seen. I ain't lying. See, look at the way he's walking up to him. This has happened to me several times in my life, especially when I used to work at a bar, and somebody would corroborate a story of my friend JB. He's a really good dude, former crackhead, who pulled his life together in his late 30s. I knew him when he was like 45, and he actually reminds me a ton of that dude. Trelling says, quote unquote, "We told this one bitch a couple years ago about this, but she didn't believe our shape-shifting demon theory."
Point Road. Thank you. Am I lying, Colin?
No.
So between the locals showing up,
Between the locals
random
showing
guys
up,
stopping in a
random
truck.
dude talking about
Yeah.
satanic stuff. We're not making these things up.
No, and now it's coming from local people who aren't even in on this.
And-
This is
and I
actually
want-
random.
He's like, my wife left me over this. She left me over this because she couldn't believe. This has ruined my life, guys. This has ruined my fucking life. Help me.
I want everybody to know none of this is scripted.
No, this
we
is
just
live,
had
man.
we just had a local stop
Dude, that's
us.
insane that he just pulled over and he found
That's
a
what
slaughtered deer, just like you guys. But there's pentagrams, and he saw a cult.
And we
Like,
just
just
said
the
that they
side of
do
the road.
satanic
And I
rituals.
told
Yes.
you
They
that
do it.
one of the locals told us that people come here to practice Satanism. And I think, this is just my personal opinion, that it has something to do with the legend. It's almost
Yes.
like
You know, honestly, there probably are weirdos that go out there and do stupid things, thinking that they're interacting with the Jersey Devil, especially because it's in such close proximity to the Leeds house. It would make sense that they would hang out in this area. You know, maybe there are some spooky fuckers out there doing spooky stuff. Who knows? Satanists in New Jersey.
If we were to use a Hollywood term, we'd say shots fired, shots fired.
paying homage to it.
Oh, yeah.
To
for
appease
sure.
it. Because one of my friends who shot the documentary with us, they was at this other location. She walks up and she finds a shower curtain wrapped up, and when she opened it up, inside was boiled eggs and aloe, and it freaked her out. She said it was warm. She was like, "This is not good."
So if it was warm, then that means more.
Boiled eggs and aloe. Have you seen anything more demonic? Can you even imagine? Can you even imagine? What are these fucking these Satanists doing? Trembling says, quote unquote, my wife and my other son call us gay ass bitches for believing in all this. We think the devil got to them, twisted their mind all up. It's exactly. See, the spirits that followed them home. They've documented this, these occurrences. They have the proof. They have the evidence. Don't worry. They're going to send it to you. At some point, they will email it to you. They promise. So this, I'm telling you, because there's more than going on. It's the Jersey Devil. It's Satanists. It's Azazel. These guys are in deep. They're in real fucking deep.
More than likely, she probably just missed a ritual.
That's witchcraft.
So they're doing it.
That's
out here.
definitely witchcraft. So we're not making stuff
Satanism,
up.
So Satanism out here is pretty hefty. So that would explain why the thing's probably been around for 287, 88 years.
Yeah.
What kind of animal can survive that long without it being paranormal?
This is I did not expect.
What a great reaction. He's like, see, huh? I mean, I think that proves it right there, guys.
So Satanism out here is pretty hefty. So that would explain why the thing's probably been around for 287, 88 years.
Yeah.
What kind of animal can survive that long without it being paranormal?
This is I did not expect.
Look at the look on his face. He's like, gotcha. I like he's the practical guy. He's like, can you even imagine? Like, that would be ridiculous if it wasn't exactly the way I frame it. If it's not, that would be retarded. What are you guys even talking about? Trebling says, boiled eggs and aloe. Somebody had an egg laying fetish they could only practice in the woods. Well, those piney people, those pinies, they're a very creative bunch. Hagbert says, Greenland shark.
The locals to come with stories like that.
Me either.
Not like that.
We never have that.
This never happened to us either. It never happened like that. Besides what we told you, but now this just confirmed it.
It's crazy to me that it's like everybody has similar stories and like sightings of things that they've seen out here.
Yeah.
And like same locations too.
Oh,
People
yeah.
are seeing certain things.
Well, that means they're like you guys. There is something out here.
Something going
out
on.
here,
Something's
and I
going
think
on.
what it is, because what we believe the Jersey Devil is paranormal.
Of course.
100%.
Look at the energy that people is giving this. Yeah. We got possible satanistic practices, rituals. I mean, when we go back on Scott's Landing, we found bones back there.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, these bones aren't from small animals.
No, they're from large
They're
animals.
from large animals.
These are not squirrels.
These aren't squirrels and rabbits.
No,
dying.
these
are large animals.
Large animals.
It's like large, I'm pretty sure some of them were dinosaur bones.
Can't identify what it is.
Vertebrae, backbones,
spine, everything.
Yeah.
So
I guess to reel this in, what happened after you saw that thing walking away?
Okay, back to the story.
Yeah, because I don't think we ever finished it.
We never finished.
That
Sorry,
guy
that
pulled
was
up right at the
interrupted.
best part, man.
Yeah.
Here, go ahead, Dad.
So once we saw it, I'm looking at it. My first thought was, wow, somebody's horse or cow got out. And
Jesus.
Yeah. No, what it was small because
See, you missed part of the story. So when he talked to that Mayo monkey, he said that he saw what he thought was like a camel, like a flying camel or something. And he saw it through the trees. This is what gets him to pull over in this particular spot. He's completely omitted that part of the story. He just went and said, like, oh yeah, we had heard about it, so that's why we came out here. It's these kind of inconsistencies that make me wonder.
Thinking that distance was further than it appeared.
Yeah.
But because it appeared so small, I just see something walking in the weeds that looked like a horse, a small young horse or a mare. The strange thing about it was moving, but it never advanced. I told this story many times, and it's the same. It never advanced, and occasionally it would turn its head left.
Maybe it was fucking moonwalking out there. Moonwalking on the water. Treming says, this all goes back to when the CIA used a time machine to bring dinosaurs to fight in Vietnam. I mean, of course, obviously. I thought that was a given.
It would turn his head right. So my son was like, Dad, there's no cows or horses out here.
No, because
We're
when
in
you
the
look
middle.
out there, that's a marsh.
I was just about to say, that's a marsh. That'd be ridiculous. Animals out in the fucking marsh? Are you crazy? I mean, you think deers come around here? That's impossible. Has to be the Jersey Devil.
If someone had any type of animal out there, they'd probably be in trouble. There's no fencing. There's no house. There's no yard. So where did this strange cow, wildebeest, Komodo dragon thing come from?
And it was when he told me, he said, Dad, we're in the middle of a marsh.
It's just like adding tons of stuff. Wildebeest, Komodo dragon thing. Like, what the fuck? Dad, we're in the middle of a marsh. Use your head. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah.
There's no farms out here. That's when I'm thinking, what? I know that's not what we think it is. That's not the Jersey Devil, but it was.
It was.
Because it was dark brown. It had a lower back body, like the head set above the back side of the body.
Like it was sloped.
It was sloped, and it had a long tail that was split at the end.
And what was strange, I don't know what.
Read 'em and weep, boys. Read 'em and weep. The proof.
Came over me to do this. It wasn't smart. I screamed at it. I tried to mimic the sound the devil's known for making, like a shrieking scream sound. And when I did that, my dad and my little brother said, yo, it stopped and turned and looked when you did that.
It was crazy.
And I just can't believe that it was there.
Yeah, we
This guy was speaking demonese. You better watch out. That's why he's got so much. That's why he's got problems with depression now. He's been infected.
I can't
like, we
believe
going
that
back and forth. Me and my son, we like, is
that really what it
is? What
is?
it really is. Like,
Is
we
that
not seeing
really-
what we know. We're questioning each other's sanity. Like, come on, man.
Disbelief is the number one emotion, man, because when you see things like this, that makes you question your entire reality.
Everything.
So when people tell
Everything's
you, well, those
changed.
things aren't real, those are myths, those are lies, well, how do you explain evidence?
And all in that same.
Yeah, how do you explain evidence? Riddle me this, fucker. How do you explain evidence? Traveling says, quote unquote, one time I tried to tell Kevin Samuels about this, and he said I was trifling as all these hoes out here. He was trying to get the word out. He thought his brother would fucking be there for him. Believe in him. You know? It's sad. It's kind of sad.
Same day, after we saw it, we going back and forth. We get back in the car. We trying to, video it and it, just trying to get something. And we heard a voice that came out of the woods, like a heavy, deep voice, like a baritone, almost bass voice of a man saying, birthing. That's why he said it. He said birthing.
Like birthing, giving birth.
Giving, like birthing. That's all he said.
It came from...
He was like, did you hear that?
There.
And I'm like, yeah. And my...
Dude, they did not... They didn't say any of this shit to that other girl. I think they did her dirty. They're like, nah, man. I'm going to wait until I get paid. Then we're going to give all the real details. Yeah, this story has gotten way more intense. Disembodied voice saying birthing. What the fuck? Hagbard says, quote unquote, the devil started yelling 1352. What that means? What the fuck does that mean, man? The fuck?
My son was like, Dad, is that your fault? I was like, nah, that's a voice.
He thought it was a bullfrog. I was like, Dad, bullfrogs don't speak English, man. I was like, yo.
Yo, dude. There he is again, just with that pragmatic perspective. Man, bullfrogs don't speak English. Use your head, Dad.
That was a total
Mom's right
spirit
about
that
you.
said birthing, and how crazy in reference to where we are, what's going on in the legend. So
Yeah.
it was like the spirits were telling us, guys, you're at the birthplace.
It was from that moment on, and that's what really much put us on this path that we're on to this very day.
6 years.
6 years later, we're still coming to this place. We're still, because what we saw was just profound. It was profound, and it's no other way to explain it.
And I mean, there's no right or wrong answers to this. That's another thing, a lot of people give a lot of speculation. Well, some people say that It was a big creature. Some people said it was a small animal. But all in one, we're talking about a paranormal manifestation at the
He's
end.
like, basically anything that anybody's ever seen, including us, is confirmation. This is a paranormal entity. This is a shapeshifter. This is a World of Warcraft druid shapeshifter. As we have established, okay? All evidence is good evidence. All of it's true. All of it's real. Confirmed.
End of the day, we're talking about one of the most elusive cryptids in America.
That's the reason why.
And
That's the reason why I think it has never been captured, because
It's a
people are
ghost.
chasing a ghost.
Yeah.
I mean, if this creature was living for 280 something years, from 1735 to 2023, I mean, what is it eating? What is it? How is it staying alive? It doesn't make sense. And we know that human DNA, if it was born a normal child, we all heard that story. It was born a normal child, and all of a sudden it transformed into this grotesque combination of 4 or 5 different monsters, head of a calf, a body of a dog, and leathery bat wings. Human DNA does not do that.
No.
What the fuck is he talking about? What is he talking about? Human DNA does not do that. What? Trembling says, quote unquote, bullfrogs don't speak English. Everybody knows they only speak French. The camera guy slowly starts backing away. I'd start backing away now. When he's talking about, he's like, human DNA doesn't do that. What? Yeah, okay, yeah. The fuck are you talking about?
Nor does, and
it
no
just doesn't.
animal or living thing can live that long either.
And
Exactly.
it be the only one
Of
of
its
its kind. How does that happen? This is an extinct species. A species of what? The Jersey Devil is described wings of a bat, head of a goat, horse feet.
Yeah.
That's not a typical animal. That's
Ass of a red ass baboon.
definitely some sort of demonic thing.
People are seeing something.
Yeah.
People are seeing something.
And they're not lying, man. I mean, you got people terrified of this legend. We just happen to have an experience where we kind of looked at it as, hey, this is a ghost. This isn't an animal. This isn't something tangible. We're gonna.
Dude, I hope these guys, I'm gonna look. I hope they have a YouTube channel or something, because I would watch every fucking video. I just want to hear. I want these guys to have a travel channel show, kind of like Ghost Hunters or something, where they just go and investigate cryptids around the country. I mean, these guys are built for reality television. Like, they're made for it. They're made for it. You got to get some good producers that know what they're doing and know how to spook the fuck out of them. It would be great television. That's all I'm saying. It'd be great television. Drelling says, quote unquote, human DNA doesn't do that. Me and my son have done extensive experiments trying to replicate those results. It just don't do that.
We're gonna go walk up and grab it in a net and say, hey, we got the devil for sale. Ain't gonna happen. This is totally
Yeah.
something demonic.
I think that's interesting because every time I've heard of the Jersey Devil, I always consider it like a Bigfoot type cryptid. You know,
Yes.
like a monster.
Right.
But your theory makes a lot more sense that it's like a demonic, evil
It has to
specter.
be.
It has to
you know?
be.
It has
Because,
to
yeah, it can't survive for 200 years.
Even with all the other like big cryptids like Bigfoot and aliens, and it boils down to there being like multiples of all these other ones. But with the Jersey Devil,
It's just right here.
it seems like it's just the one, and it's branched off the story of just the one child. And so like this, what we're dealing with tonight might be something darker and more powerful than we've ever even dealt with.
There's something else we want to bring out that a lot of people don't know, and I think people lose sight of. This was a person. This was a child. And I think
Oh my
everybody
God.
focus on the monster, like we described, the combination of all these different creatures. But does anyone stop and think about this being a child that this happened to? We all lose sight of that.
It
Yes.
seems as if
I don't understand what they think it is. I mean, I guess, well, we heard in the other video, they think that, you know, the mother leads there, like, conjured a spirit or something. And then they kind of go back and forth with, like, the real child. And that's how the legend developed, because, you know, it was like this ugly, horrific, deformed kid who'd scream, and she'd bring him out at night, and people would hear the cries, and then the legend was born. But they also just completely discount that for most of what they're talking about and just talk about some demonic paranormal entity. Come on. Trembling says, yeah, those two beer producers that essentially troll them by encouraging their crazy and setting up things to freak them out. Yes, 1,000%. It would be a smash hit. I got to contact these guys.
The child, the 13th child, and the Jersey Devil are two separate entities.
Yes.
So there's one thing we do believe. We think that this is possibly a demonic attachment to that child's soul. And reason being, in the time 1735, that's not far from the witch trial era where people are highly superstitious of curses.
Exactly.
She gives birth to a deformed child in that time. Very likely something bad happened to the child, and from something tragic happening, it's very possible that a demonic...
The trauma energy. And he also says, needs producers. Yeah, those two need producers. That makes more sense. That essentially troll them by encouraging their crazy and setting things up to freak them out. I agree. It would be a hit. I'd watch it.
Demonic force came through because of the energy. If something bad happened to him.
Yeah, that's what my wife said too.
Yeah.
She was like,
yeah,
if the child was born deformed back then, they probably just killed him.
They killed him. They killed
him. You know?
This place is home to spirits, hands
Absolutely.
down. And it's probably one of the most haunted places in New Jersey. But a lot of people can't put the two together. They're still banking on the Jersey Devil possibly being some scientifically unknown animal, when we totally can verify that this is a paranormal demon.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah, and also...
We can totally verify. What do you have to verify? Those fucking pictures? You out of your mind? You out of your mind, pal? I need real proof, okay? Real proof.
It's like, with the Pine Barrens, you have all the murders that have happened out here.
Exactly.
Do you guys know of any murders that have happened in this area?
I don't know of murders, but I know that this used to be the home of sea captains. And we know in 1735, a lot of people, when they perished, they were buried on their land.
Yeah. That's a cemetery.
That could be a huge cemetery.
It's a cemetery out there.
Right.
That's a cemetery out there.
No, it could be. And he's like, no, it is. It is. It is. Trembling says, these two, I bet, talk about little else but this ever. Maybe occasionally the Jets game. Oh, yeah. They're just obsessively discussing it. They still live together. Well, especially since his wife left him.
If you think back then, 1735, if people died off, it was customary to be buried where you lived. So we know that there's a few foundations out here. So could bodies be essentially under the ground where you're walking at?
Yeah.
At any
Ghost confirmed. What else could it be?
time.
So I guess I want to finish the interview at
Sure.
a place. What do you guys think is the scariest place?
Scott's Landing.
Will you take us down there?
Absolutely.
Yeah, right
And
now.
then we can finish up with...
Shit, man. Fucking stopped for talking about the Jersey Devil and being black on a Friday afternoon.
Good. How's it going?
Good. You guys like work for Netflix or something fancy like that, or
YouTube, self-employed.
Okay. Yeah, somebody got a complaint about one of the houses down on Moss Mill, a little bit farther from where you came from, that you were videoing their house.
Oh no, we weren't videoing. We were just videoing
Maybe
from
they
the
just saw
road.
you in the area and they were
Yeah.
concerned anyway.
Cameras
Is that,
up.
like related to the Jersey Devil? We get a
That-
lot of people.
That's what we're doing. We have a ghost hunting YouTube
Sorry about
channel.
this, man.
No, you're good. You ever seen the devil?
No, I have.
No?
I mean, there's a lot of people around here that,
Yeah,
have
that's-
eyewitness accounts of it and stuff.
It's our plan to talk to some folks. Awesome, man.
All right, guys. It was nice meeting you.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Yeah,
These
take
people
care,
are
man.
local, I assume?
Yeah, they're with us.
Nice. All right. Good to go, guys.
All right.
Have a good
Take
night.
care, Thank you, man.
I hope when they get out, the two black guys, Stefan and Michael, I hope they freak out. They freak out. Man, that guy's always fucking harassing us, man, when we're on our hunts. The night was already cursed. by the 5-0.
Where we are right now, guys, we are at probably the most terrifying part of Leeds Point. We're standing at Scott's Landing, and at night you'd have no visibility back here, and this is not the place you want to be, especially with a run-in with the Jersey Devil by any means. Yes. So for a lot of people who don't know about these woods, very high likely that the people
is very high likely. A very high likelihood of this thing I'm about to basically just pull out of thin air. Trelling says the dad floats an idea as a possibility and the son runs with it as a certainty, and then the dad backs it up and forgets he's the one who thought of it. Yeah, I think we've seen that already happen a few times.
Of the time, in that time, lived probably anywhere in here. And we think this is a cemetery.
Yeah, because like I stated earlier that in those days, in the early, settlers' times, people were usually buried on their land. And this is the home of sea captains. So a lot of the people, when they perished and passed away, they was buried on this property. And yeah, like you said, this could be a possible huge burial ground. And that could be one of the reasons why the spiritual energy is so strong here, and we should tell them about the story that night when we came out in the evening.
And we were under attack.
The attack
Oyster
that we
Creek
had.
Road. All right, I'm getting chills thinking about that. It was December. It was bad. It was December of 2018, I want to say, if I'm right. And
yes.
We came down here, and it was chilly, so we brought some jackets. We were cold, but when we got down here in December, it was like summertime. Complete heat, hot, no breeze, no wind, no sound. Couldn't hear anything, kind of like now other than birds. I thought I was seeing something standing out in the marsh, and I tried to point it out to my dad, like, hey, do you see that? But my eyes immediately watered. And I knew it wasn't a allergen thing because it was December and
have you ever stood out in the fucking cold? Like the wind hits your eyes just automatically just start, watering. It's just your body's response to your eyes being fucking dried out like crazy. I grew up in New England. Like that's a pretty normal thing.
Immediate, and it was so like overbearing. Like I was rubbing my eyes like I was crying. Yeah. And he was alleging, as I'm calling him, he said, this is the part that scared me. He said, Steph, I can't hear you. When he said, I can't hear you, it was like, are we under attack of something?
Are we under attack? Dude, they dine out on this story all the time. Bars, restaurants, barbecues, family gets-togethers, hanging out with friends. They are always bringing this shit up, wanting to tell that story. That's why they're so juiced. That's why Stefan's so energized. He's got fresh ears. Fresh ears to hear of the tale of his trauma. Trelling says, black people hunting supernatural beings is the best content. It's the Mobile, Alabama leprechaun all over again. The Mobile, Alabama leprechaun. Well, I'm not familiar with that. I'm going to have to look that up.
It was crazy because I wasn't too far from him. I was about, 10 feet, maybe 12, 13 feet?
If that.
He's saying, Dad, I can't see. And he's rubbing his eyes. And I'm standing, like I said, 10, maybe 10, 13, 15 feet away. And I'm like, Steph, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And that's when he pointed down the street and he said, Dad, there it is. And then you can tell him what you actually saw, and then I'll tell him what I actually saw.
Okay. Well, what it was like, I thought that it was a deer coming out of the brush back on Oyster Creek Road, but just as quick as I could see the face of this thing, it quickly pulled its face back into the weeds and it started walking towards us. And what's giving me the jeeves right now is where it was walking, there was no ground. That's actually a dredge dugout off the side of the road. And we didn't know that until after the fact. And I thought it was some type of large deer coming through the woods towards me. But in my mind, I'm saying, well, deers don't walk to you typically. Wouldn't they run? And this thing looked like it had its eye on me, man. So
this guy's like some kind of deer expert. He knows all the behaviors of a deer. He's always very skeptical that deers would do things. He's like, that just wouldn't make any sense. I mean, I know deer. They wouldn't be here. They wouldn't do these kinds of things. They wouldn't just show up headless. I mean, what's going on here? Treving says, please look it up. I referenced it a few times already tonight. I will. I've written down a few things for a further cryptid night. I'll include that with that. Just do some wild stuff. Honestly, I did not expect to end up down this rabbit hole this far, but I'm glad we did. It's probably better than watching stuff about the Ramapo Indians, honestly, in Camden.
Seem more predatory as opposed to something that was coming up for a pet.
Yeah.
And what I saw was different. This is how powerful the energy is in this area. What he saw, I didn't see, and what I saw, he didn't see. What I saw was something that was pitch black, and I only seen it from like mid-chest.
Trumping says it's just a short local news clip. Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll watch that. That'll be the last thing we watch.
To mid-head, and it almost looked like it had calf ears that stuck out to the side that went out. And it was solid black, pitch black. And I'm looking, and the branches are moving like so, because it was like a little breeze going. And the next thing you know, when the branch went up, it took his head and moved his head in front of the branch. And that's when I was like, let's get out of here. Let's go.
Yeah, we left. We left.
It was crazy because, like we said, it was in December. We said we better bring jackets because it might be cool. We out here in the marsh, it might be windy. But when the attack started, it heated up. It got real warm. It was crazy, man. When I saw what I saw and it moved his head around that branch, I said, let's go. And we jumped in the car. I hit the lights, and just for a millisecond, I saw what looked like to appear to be like cat eyes. You know, when you hit the eyes, they reflective. Like a second, and they were gone. And we got the hell out of here. And this place right here,
haunted.
It's haunted. There's definitely something in Lee's Point, and you know, I know this is what they call a wildlife refuge, but I think there's life that went on, that passed on, and some of that life energy is still in this area. That's what my take on this thing is.
I couldn't agree more. How could you explain something like this lasting almost 300 years and remain elusive this entire time?
How else?
It doesn't add up to be an animal. This is clearly some sort of demon.
It's some demon, paranormal, spirit. I mean, the energy here is here. I mean, anyone who can come here at night and brave this, my hat's off to you.
Good luck to you.
Yeah, why won't you guys stay? Dude, wouldn't it have been amazing if they had talked their way into the hunt that night? Oh my God.
Good luck to you.
Do you guys feel that whatever is out in the woods out here in Leeds Point is definitely like a predatory evil energy?
I think there's good spirits here that want vindication.
Yes.
They want.
Yeah, it's the pine lights, as Hagbard had pointed out. It's the pine. Those are the pine lights. Those aren't demons, okay?
They're truth to be told, but then there are not so good spirits, evil spirits, demons possibly, that just take heed of this property right here. I mean, this runs from where we're standing, Scotts Landing to Oyster Creek, and you wouldn't believe the amount of energy generated from a small patch in this area. The activity.
He's just like, I'm telling you guys, head to honey. Head to honey. It's the old Piney saying. You wouldn't understand. There are demons here. There are supernatural energies.
The level here is unreal. Yeah, the fact that we've even had stuff follow us home.
Yeah, I mean,
from here, and we
live
live
on your step. The footprints in my yard. I have footprints. I'm going to send you that. Yeah. That I had actual footprints in my yard after visiting this place, and it's no way to explain it. Let me see if I can bring that up. These are the actual footprints. You can see there are two prints in my yard on the backside of my house.
Do you have the ones that I had in my yard with the snow?
Oh, with the snow, yeah. Now the crazy thing.
Oh, dude, these guys are good. They're good.
About that, I was cooking breakfast that morning. Cooking bacon and eggs, just regular breakfast. So I said, let me let the smoke out. And when I opened up the window, I didn't see nothing because it would have got my attention. So I went back to cooking. So after cooking, I went out to my living room and I opened up the other window just to, let some air in. And that's when I noticed them. They weren't there the first time that I opened the window, but the second time they was there. And the thing about it, they were almost looked like they were fresh because the way that they were in the ground, you could see.
Well, they were asking earlier, like, how does the the Jersey Devil survive? Like, what does he eat, etc. He wanted some of your bacon and eggs, my dude. That's what he does. He goes around looking for kind neighbors, other kind New Jerseyans to feed him.
See my hand, it was like fresh mud.
Those are pretty big prints.
You can see.
That's big prints.
That's a big print, and it broke the grass.
So something.
So whatever did it had to be heavy.
And big.
And big.
And you had prints outside.
Tremming says, you wouldn't even believe the energy. My bitch Sandra, she's an empath, so she feels all those energies and be using her crystals and shit to hold them back so we could get away.
At your house too?
Yes, I did. I had that was the winter of 2018. I don't know the month exactly, but there was snow on the ground. I took my dog out, and there was only maybe one or two in the yard, and it never left the yard. So whatever it was, it had to fly. So it was like something landed, and then it flew off because there was. That's the
Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember you called me over. You was like, Dad, you got to see this. I got prints in my yard. I'm like, come on, man, stop.
They were the size
and
of
I
my
get
hand.
there, and I look down, and
Why wouldn't he believe him? He believes all this other shit. He believes that it's in his yard, but he's like, man, you trying to ride my coattails, man. You trying to get some of my shine. Oh, yeah, Dad, it happened to me too. Shit, shut up.
I'm just like, I'm stunned. I'm like, oh my God.
And they weren't near each other. No. The prints weren't near each other, so whatever this was clearly flying. This wasn't walking. This was not even crawling, man. This landed in my yard and flew off.
All I can say is this Jersey Devil thing is, it's more than what people are saying that it is. And we really just tend to believe that it's some type of spiritual manifestation, paranormal.
This is like when people that don't believe the earth is a globe, they have all different theories like flat earth, concave earth, or they all infight with each other. Be like, man, you're an idiot. You think it's a ball? You think it's it's flat? Nah, dude, it's concave. We're inside the earth. They get all uppity and angry when they have other like Jersey Devil people come. They come to try to find the Jersey Devil. Be like, man, that ain't no cryptid. That's a demon, boy. That's a demon. Trelling says, I said, monster, get your ass back. You ain't getting my bacon and eggs. We work for our goddamn bacon and eggs around here, Jersey Devil.
I don't think it's physical. I can't tell someone else what it is. I know for our experience and what happened to me and my son, this is definitely spiritual. This is something paranormal. Yeah. And this place is filled with whatever that was.
They always dress all in black because they're constantly in mourning for the spirit of the Pine Barrens. Trelling says, you want to get fed? You better chip into the rent.
Energies here, and it never left.
It never left.
And your steps got scratched too.
Yes, my steps were scratched.
Yeah, so what happened with that?
Well, I was taking my dog out one morning, like I always do, nothing unusual. It was the third step from the bottom. I had scratch marks, and I noticed that they were in threes. So I did a little bit of research on what 3 claw marks mean, and it came back to a demonic entity.
The same.
Of course. Well, of course. What else would it come back as? What was the research? Man, I did a Google search. And I saw a picture of a demon with claws.
Same ones that was on the arm of the person that I showed you, the 3 scratches that went into these actual woods. We had a friend who went in here to bless the land or whatever they was trying to do. They went in there with a Bible, saying the Lord's Prayer. They say they got about 30 feet into these woods that you see, and they say they felt like something punched them in the gut, and when they came out, they had these huge scratches on their arm. And they sent me the picture, And those are the scratches.
Those are just insanely large too. Jesus.
It has
Again.
to be demonic.
It has to be demonic. Yeah, this couldn't have been like, they got spooked and ran through the woods or anything like that. That's highly unlikely.
I mean, it has to be demonic. I can't think of nothing.
So that happened here.
That's
right here.
That's just his buddy Fred. He's also a truck driver. He's like, man, I'm gonna fuck with Michael and Stefan. Check this out.
They walk somewhere in here.
In these
Over
woods.
there, somewhere.
And then they said, and I have the text when it was sent to me. Everything that we show you guys, we have proof to back it up with text, with photos. Nothing is staged here.
No, and nothing is word of mouth.
No.
Everything that has happened down to the locals showing up here, guys. I mean, come on. People know. Yeah.
That story we heard today, I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting
I don't know those people.
I don't know them from...
They don't know us.
From where?
He's like, I never even met David before.
They stopped us and started telling us some crazy stuff that pretty much backed up what we
were saying.
What we were saying. So people are very aware of what's going on here. They know.
I just think that a lot of people are afraid to acknowledge it too. That there could be something like this living out here.
Yeah.
There's probably a countless amount of spirits, and if they're just randomly buried anywhere in here, the energy's just rampant, man.
Oh yeah. So do you guys think it's dangerous to come out here at night?
Definitely dangerous. I would never recommend anyone to spend one night in there.
No.
I mean, unless of course you want to be devil food.
Or have a heart attack because these spirits are gonna antagonize you. They're gonna
run you out.
They're not gonna make it comfortable for you.
No, they're gonna run you out.
That's definitely for sure.
I know. Jesus, these bugs, man.
Think about it. They done called the cops on us, and now they got bugs on us.
I know.
Okay, everybody. So, well.
All right, so that's the end of their interview. Here, I will I'll put in the chat if you guys want to go finish watching that later. If I can get it in there. Put it in both the chats, just in case anybody wants to go check it out. It's got like 2 hours more of them, not those dudes, not the dudes that were being interviewed, but the paranormal investigators are in the woods for like 2 hours. Trembling says, quote unquote, it definitely wasn't from him running by a thorn bush. Thorn bushes don't behave that way. Come on, bro. It was demonic for sure.